Welcome to the Paranet UFO Continuum, a one-hour program dedicated to a very strange phenomena, unidentified flying objects. Whether or not you believe UFOs exist, the controversy is real, and this program will try to get to the bottom of it. Your host is Michael Corbin, Director of Paranet Information Services, a global communications network based near Denver, Colorado, dedicated to the investigation of UFOs. We invite you to keep an open mind as we discuss one of the most fascinating and strange subjects in the world. Here's your host, Michael Corbin. Are UFOs for real, or are they just fiction? To find out, stay with us for more of the Paranet UFO Continuum with your host, Michael Corbin.
1-800-UFO-2009 is the number, 1-800-836-2009. Okay, my next guest comes from a small, otherwise scarcely known town, which neighbors an Area 51, which is gaining increased notoriety. In the past, the town of Rachel, Nevada was simply an oasis for the very occasional desert wayfarer, consisting of a few trailer homes and the only gas, food, and lodging for miles. Few citizens would have ever expected this tiny haven to become an active point of interest, drawing tourism, research, news media, and curiosity hunting to such a remote region, or for such a remote reason. Aliens? Aliens. Rachel's mysterious neighbor is the U.S. Air Force. The U.S. Air Force is claimed to be secretly testing flying saucers in an area just over the Groom Lake Mountains from Rachel. My next guest tonight is Pat Travis, owner of the Little Aleinn. Pat, are you there?
Yes, I am, Michael.
Welcome to our program.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you asking me to be a guest.
Well, we're happy to have you. When did you start calling it the Little Aleinn?
In 1990.
Okay. And
Prior to that, it was the Rachel Bar and Grill.
Okay. All right. And how close are you to the infamous Area 51?
It's probably 30 miles to Area 51, but the viewing area that a lot of people use is only about 18 miles from here.
Okay. Tell us about the UFO-type decorations you have there.
Well, I have a lot of photographs that were taken from the mailbox area right across the hill from us.
Now, Pat, for our listeners, the mailbox area, is that the infamous black mailbox, I think?
That is the infamous black mailbox.
Okay, and what happens there?
Well, people just stay right near that area. Mm-hmm. There are other points, but that one's had more photographs taken from right there than any other that we've known about.
Okay.
And there have been sightings of craft. One man insists he has seen a being in that area.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds really strange and really wild, but it's a fact.
Okay, well, with all this notoriety, who visits your bar?
Absolutely everybody.
Okay, like base employees?
We have several that are either security guards or just personnel that work on the test site that come in here on a regular basis.
Uh-huh. And what do these base employees have to say about Area 51?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
No. They really do not discuss it. And we don't push those people to do it because we know that that's their job and
they're probably not going to tell you anyway.
They're not going to anyway.
Of course
not. They can't for their own security.
Their lips are sealed.
That's it. We hear straggle stories, but nothing that I can pinpoint.
Well, now, okay, have you yourself seen anything strange in the skies around there?
We have watched a couple of objects in the sky that have been kind of different. We had one that somebody told me once it was Venus, and I pointed out, no, Venus is over there. And as we were leaving that night, this object was ground level. And the minute I told the girl about it, she had just enough time to see it, and like in the same sentence, she said, "Oh my God, it's disappeared." It was just like that. Wow. And it wasn't like something had... Usually if something disappears or a light turns off, there's an afterglow. There was nothing. It's like it went behind a mountain. It just dropped into the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Well, Pat, what do you think's going on over there?
My honest opinion is that there are alien beings and alien craft that are over there.
Okay, now how long have you been in the area there? How long have you lived there? 6 years. And what makes you come to that conclusion?
The people that have been here and talked about it.
Okay.
We have people from all over the world that come here and talk. And some of them from other countries don't realize that you can talk about UFOs or that we're even about UFOs until they get here. But they've had encounters in other countries, not just ours.
Uh-huh.
And people from all over that do a lot of research. Well, like next weekend, on the 20th, 21st, 22nd, we're going to have a UFO friendship camp out.
Okay.
Right here. We have speakers, one coming from Biloxi, Mississippi, one from Juneau, Alaska, one from the San Diego, California area, one from San Bernardino, and 3 from Las Vegas. And Billy Goodman is going to be here.
Billy Goodman?
Yes.
Oh, boy. 1-800-UFO-2009, 1-800-836-2009. Our guest tonight is Pat Travis, owner of the Little Aleinn in Rachel, Nevada. So Billy Goodman's going to be there, huh?
Yes, he will be. It's kind of a welcome home at the end of it for him. He's just gone back to Vegas. And, we need to talk people about the UFOs and about the things that's actually happening around our world.
For our listeners, Billy Goodman was a personality that basically, he was around when Bob Lazar came out of the closet and started talking about all this stuff.
That's where it started.
Bob Lazar's been a speaker up there at your place, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. And he apologized to me this time for not being able to be here. But things just didn't work out time-wise for him to be able to make the trip. Which is okay. We still have his support behind us. He's a great person. Okay.
Yeah, he is. Very interesting guy. Pat, tell us a little bit about the UFO hunters that come up there. The people that try to climb up the hills for a view of the base. What kind of things do you see up there with these people?
Well, there's one area that you can climb. One area takes about an hour. The other takes 2.5 hours to hike up it. But you can actually see the Groom Lake facility from those particular places. They are right now attempting to take that portion of land, 4,000 acres, and I anticipate it to be at any given time.
Okay, now will that will that affect your business?
I don't really feel it will, because what we are here is an information exchange center. We've got great food, we've got ice cold beer, all the necessary things.
Right.
But the one thing that was just commented out in the front, do you realize there are people from everywhere, and nobody is sitting around. Everybody's talking to one another. You go into a bar or a restaurant, most people won't even look at the people at the next table, let alone pick up a free conversation.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
And it is. Yeah. And that's how Joe and I have learned. That's why we wanted to have this camp out next weekend. So that people can actually talk to one another. Joe and I have heard so many different things from so many different people. We can't keep it all together. But we thought, my God, all these people can be able to talk, and we do have these other speakers.
Give us directions up there to your place.
Well, it's 2.5 hours from Las Vegas. We are on Highway 375 in Rachel, Nevada.
Are you in Lincoln County up there?
Yes, we're Lincoln County. We're just 10 miles from the Nye County Lincoln line.
I'm just curious how you hear a lot of stories about the interaction between these UFO observers and the sheriff's department. Is there a lot of friction between them and the sheriff?
I don't really feel that there is. Of course, some people attempt to overstep the boundaries or push the boundaries really close and give a little bit of hassle. But on a whole, I feel our Lincoln County sheriffs are really genuine in just our protection and nothing more.
Okay.
If the people do, basically how we tell them, stay away from the borders. The closer you get to a mountain, the less you can see what comes up over the top of it.
Sure.
Where we have found a couple of really good viewpoints, nobody's ever hassled. The most that might happen is if one of our sheriffs go by, they may stop and ask them if they need some help or for identification. And it's for 2 reasons. We're in a remote area. If there's some strange person out there that needs, that we need to be aware of, we'll find out.
Okay. 1-800-UFO-2009, 1-800-836-2009. Our guest is Pat Travis, owner of the Little Aleinn in Rachel, Nevada. And when we come back from our break, Pat, let's get some information about this camp out that you're having next weekend.
Yes,
sounds like something that people should want to make some plans for. So we'll be right back after this break. You're listening to the Paranet UFO Continuum. I'm Michael Corbin.
The Paranet UFO Continuum, in conjunction with MICAP, the Multinational Investigations Cooperative on Aerial Phenomena, is pleased to offer a portable kit containing everything you need when you come across something unusual in the sky. This kit comes in a sturdy metal box with a lock and contains binoculars, micro-cassette recorder, FM walkie-talkies, water-filled compass, 16mm telephoto camera with 1600 speed film, sample bags, notebook, paper and pen, high-intensity flashlight, and official MICAP sighting report forms. The normal price of this complete kit is $289, but for a limited time you can order it for only $250 plus $10 shipping and handling. To order, call Paranet at 1-800-UFO-NET1. That's 1-800-UFO-NET1 and ask for the UT1 kit. Paranet, your window on the universe, with products and services unparalleled in the world today. Again, call 1-800-UFO-NET1.
We didn't want a professional announcer for this message because we're trying to save the Earth. Don't get me wrong, having a professional announcer would be great, but that would have taken a big casting session with people driving from all over to get here, wasting a lot of gas and adding to the pollution. And the way we see it, if our ad isn't kind to the Earth, how can we ask you to be? Use cloth shopping bags. Buy recycled paper products. Switch to energy-saving light bulbs. Yeah, maybe they're little steps, but one little step leads to another. And pretty soon they're big steps. Look, I can't tug at your heartstrings or really lay it on thick like a real announcer, but I am taking the bus home. So maybe that'll help make up for it. Call EarthShare, 1-800-488-8887. This message was brought to you by EarthShare and the Ad Council.
You are listening to the Paranet UFO Continuum. Whether or not you believe in UFOs, there's a lot about the subject you haven't heard. Stay tuned, keep an open mind, call in and join the discussion. Once again, here's your host, Michael Corbin.
And our number is 1-800-836-2009, 1-800-UFO-2009. Our guest is Pat Travis, owner of the Little Aleinn in Rachel, Nevada. Next weekend, Pat, you're having a camp out, so give us a little details about that.
Next weekend, we're having the UFO Friendship Camp Out. It's here at the Little Aleinn in Rachel. We're on Highway 375. It costs $50 for the weekend, and that includes your meals from Friday night dinner through Sunday morning breakfast. We have 8 new speakers. These are not people that have been on a so-called circuit.
Okay.
And I think it will be really important. If any of your audience would like to call me for more information, the area code is 702-729-2515.
Do you guys do to-go orders?
Of course.
Real quick, give us...
And I'll deliver them on my way on my vacation.
Well, I'd like to be there next weekend, but I don't think I can make it. But it sounds like a really interesting time. Who's going to be speaking? Can you give their names?
I can give you names. I have Alex Collier from San Diego, California. I have a Leland Richardson from San Bernardino. I have Bill Clendenin from Biloxi, Mississippi. I have Mark Farmer from Anchorage, Alaska. Well, Juneau, Alaska. I have Cece and Brett from Las Vegas. I have a Bill Uhouse from Las Vegas. And Marcia Johnson, also of Las Vegas, is bringing a panel of people for question and answers, including teenagers.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, Pat, I want to thank you very much for being our guest tonight.
I want to thank you for having us.
And say hello to Billy for me, okay?
I'll do that.
Okay.
And you guys come on out and see us, everybody that's listening.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Pat. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Before we go off the air tonight, I wanted to give you a little bit of information about how you can go about getting information, some of the files that we carry on Paranet, if you do not use a computer and a modem. As we've mentioned before on the program, our network is one of the largest repositories of information on the paranormal and UFOs. If you'll grab a pen, I will tell you how to get a catalog of these files. You can write to us at P.O. Box 172, Wheat Ridge, Colorado, 80034-0172. That's Box 172, Wheat Ridge, Colorado, 80034-0172. And if you'll send $5 with a request for a catalog, we will send you a complete listing of all the files that we have. And if you place an order for any of those files, we will give you $3 of that $5 back. So be sure and give us this information, and we'll get you a catalog out, because we do have a lot of interesting files. Okay, well, that just about wraps it up for us tonight. We will be back next week, and we hope to have some interesting calls, and we'll talk to you next week. Be sure to keep your eyes on the sky, and we will talk to you next week. Good night.